Both hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Right.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Well, first and foremost, we wanted to tell both of you thank you for taking time in your busy schedule to meet with us and talk with us a little bit as we celebrate our 11th annual Alaska Black Business Expo. And it is definitely our hope that we'll be able to host you here in the last frontier and show you Northern hospitality. So we wanted to first tell you thank you from everyone here in the room to each of you.
Yes. How you guys doing?
We appreciate
I want to make the noise. Can you hear you? All right. You got a round of applause in the room. So kicking this off, I know we have time zone differences, but we wanted to make the most of our time. We wanted to first allow you to both introduce yourself. So, of course, Mr. Miller would love for you to, well, we all know who y'all are, but if you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about yourself first, and then we'll go to Romeo next, that'd be great.
Yes. How you guys doing? I'm Percy Miller, also known as Master P. I'm a entrepreneur, businessman, a coach, a philanthropist, and my thing is helping us get to the next level. And it start with financial literacy. It start with investing in us. It start with us building. And some of these times, things feel like it's difficult. A lot of us give up. But my thing is to show you guys that I'm a living example. That if I can make it, you can make it. So keep your trust and faith in God, and just keep going hard every day.
Amen.
Thank you.
How
And
you?
then same,
I'm Romeo Miller. Some of y'all may have known Lil Romeo back in the day. I'm an actor, musician, investor, and philanthropist. And on my journey, being a child star, I want to make sure I'm doing everything I need to do for our youth when it comes to business, but also mental health. Being a father now, I've learned so many gems from my dad, Master P, aka Coach P, aka Percy Miller, and I want to spread that awareness and spread those gems across the world.
love it. And so I think that's the first question we wanted to ask. I apologize for the echoing. We're working on it. But I wanted to ask you a question first, Mr. Miller, and then you a question too, Romeo. My question first is, when you were building your business and diversifying from music and understanding that you wanted to venture into different industries, what was that process like for you going from being in music and recording to trying to explore different industries? And what advice would you give to other entrepreneurs who are also trying to diversify and try new industries and new things?
Well, I mean, successful people are gonna diversify their portfolio, but I think a lot of people try to keep you in a box. And anybody that's watching, I'm telling you guys, don't let people keep you in a box. Like you don't have to stay in one lane. Once you get in the lane that you're good, I know a lot of people say, "Hey, be smart and be good at one thing." That's fine, right? But when you got other things that you love and you're passionate about, you can diversify your portfolio and open up into other avenues to where people that are successful, they're going to invest into different things. Because I tell people all the time, like we come from New Orleans. The hurricane may come, the storm may come. What are you going to do when it do, when those hard times come? I mean, the music industry went up and down for me. If I didn't get into the product games, I would have been done. And so if I didn't get into making movies, if I didn't get into creating clothing, if I didn't get into creating food products. So I think that down the line, once you get in, that's like why you think people invest in the real estate. They invest in the real estate when they make some money. They understand that whatever business you in that are successful, you gotta be able to diversify your portfolio and get into other avenues because things come up and they go down. And once I realized that, I say, you know what? But I also how I operate, I make sure I do things that I love and that I'm passionate about, and it all kind of go together.
Thank you. And then next question for you, Romeo. So as you talked about, you were brought into the industry and business at an early age. And the question that we have from the perspective of a child of a parent who's already in business or generational wealth, What was that experience like for you? And what do you think the significance was of you starting young and being supported in that journey?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot anybody successful and see the end result, right? They rarely see what it takes to actually get to the success. And no matter if you're the first generation, second generation, or fifth generation, it's going to be on you to not only do your part but prepare for the part. You know, me and my family were very big on faith, so always compare it to David. You know, we know the story of David and Goliath in the Bible, that he defeated the giant, but a lot of people don't know, how did he actually defeat this giant? And that was the preparation. So when we talk about generational wealth, everybody must be prepared. I tell people all the time that, look at me and my dad, right? It's a lot of us in our family, but everybody isn't Master P. Everybody isn't Romeo. I was taught at a young age, this is how you do it, this is how you get it, and this is how you're going to evolve and make it better. But just because you come from a mogul or have somebody of success in your family, it doesn't mean it's always going to work that way for you, because you have to prepare. That's anything in life. So my journey, you know, I'll say some of my earlier tools was working side by side with my dad. At 10 years old, you have to take in consideration, I'm doing the same job as a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old. I'll be up at 4 a.m., me and my pops doing the radio station tours. Then at 8 a.m., we got to go do a rehearsal. Then we'll have lunch at noon. Then I have to go do interviews at 1. Then I got to go prepare for my concert, then prepare for my TV show. Then you're on the talk show. Then you do it all over again. So I think people miss the preparation part. And that's why I compare finances to David and Goliath, because we always we see the big picture, but we don't see the little things that it take. And one of the biggest things about generational wealth is social wealth. So anybody out there watching this, you think generational wealth is about money? It's not. When I was at school, I was with fifth generation kids whose parents worked at the White House, seventh generation kids whose parents are the biggest in distribution, foods, and everything else. Denzel Washington kids went to my college prep school. And I would say that social wealth is the most important if you want to take it to the next level, because you are who you hang with, and resources are way much more valuable than money itself.
That was a very great response. And so adding to that, before I go to the audience, when you say you are comparing, I want to ask you guys both about that. I want to go back to you first, Mr. Miller.
Yeah.
So did you find that on your journey to growing your business, you had to evolve and separate from those you worked with before? And if you did, how did each of you determine the company that you wanted to keep? And when it was time to say no to those that couldn't go, what was that process like for you, or any jewels or things to share on that?
Well, for me, my coach always told me that uh, he don't cut players; players cut themselves. And I think that people that's not on the same mind frame as you, or people that don't have the same passion that you have, are willing to make the sacrifices and put the work in that you're putting in, they eventually are gonna fall off. And I think people are afraid of failure. So failure is what motivate us, because people that are entrepreneurs and people that think outside the box, because there's a lot of traditional thinkers, but entrepreneurs are people that think outside the box. So a lot of those people don't want to put that work in. They don't want to be up all those hours a night, like Romeo's saying. So it's like those people are gonna fall off anyway. I think a lot of people think they gotta cut people off. Yeah, you know, when you see somebody not at the level you own and they don't want the same thing you want, but if you're doing something and you keep going and you doing something at a higher pace, they're gonna quit. And I said winners never quit. Winners are people that's gonna go and go even when it's tough. To be an entrepreneur, even when things are not working, the real entrepreneurs are still are gonna get up because they love doing what they do. People are gonna fall off knowing that they don't love this. They only in it for the money. And I want people to know on here that's watching, You can't do this for the money. You do what you need to do, and you put the right time, and you work hard at what you're doing, then the money is going to come. But you have to love it and be passionate about what you're doing. And there's no overnight, success. So have integrity. I think that's the key word that I want everybody to leave with today. Have integrity. Do what you got to do and do the right thing when nobody's looking.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Same question for you, Romeo. As
Yeah.
you elevate, they say elevate and separate, but what does that really mean? What does that look like? And how do you work on the company that you keep, or who comes and who doesn't in your business and life and family?
Yeah, I'll piggyback what my dad, me being the second generation, I'm able to see things that a lot of people aren't able to see. And this is what I would say about success is when somebody have a success, let's say my pops, right? The blueprint, the first rapper to make hundreds of millions, a powerful voice, somebody who can't be brought. What comes with that is a lot of people want to follow. A lot of people are going to want to emulate. A lot of people are going to want that blueprint. But what happens with that type of success and what my dad just said is the harder you work, the higher you go, naturally, the pieces that don't need to be around you, they'll fall off. It's like we're going through a storm, right? A lot of us look at the storm or the rain, think it's a bad thing. But what else does the storm do? It gives our plants, food is fuel to grow our plants. That's how we get flowers. So I think, like my dad said, the main thing with having the right people, it starts with you. Because if you're doing what you need to do and because you love it, your tribe and people will be there eventually. And when you're building your business, always suggest that you find the people who represent your brand. Um, what his name, Jeff Bezos, Amazon said that a lot of people don't realize your real brand is what people say when you're not in the room. So make sure you have people with that same type of character that you want represent your brand because that's what people are going to remember. That's what people are going to support. And I think that's why my family, we've had the success for over 25 years, that we've had where people understand we do things with integrity, but also because we love it. We're not like other people in the industry. And it's crazy to see my pops masterpiece say, don't do it for the money. But that's why he is so successful. Believe it or not, my dad loves what he does. He's probably the hardest working man on planet Earth. You got to realize to accomplish everything he did, make it to the NBA, survive from the Calio projects, the murder capital of the world, to sell hundreds of millions of records, but not also just sell them, but create other artists that became millionaires. And a lot of other people y'all don't even know about that are millionaires because of my father. It takes loving what you do. So when you do the right thing, you stay aligned with God, everything works out. But it got to start with love because the money will follow.
Awesome. So I was going to ask one more question, but I'm going to first see if anybody in the room. So just for context, we have a room full of people that are entrepreneurs, community organizers. We have some youth in the room as well. So it's a pretty diverse audience. And so I know they only have a few minutes left, but if anybody in the room want to ask a question, otherwise I could talk forever to them. And I know I had one earlier. I think Derek was asking Master P if you ever going to run for president. Is that what it was? He said President P. So I think you got some votes and
I'm
endorsements.
not into
Then you try to-
politics. I'm not into politics. My thing is to educate and to help create, future millionaires and more millionaires. And when it comes to people that look like us, give them that game, give them that knowledge, give them that information. And I know that it's a lot of people in the room look like us today, but I want you guys to know one thing. I don't want you to make just black product. I want you guys to have black owned products, but I want you guys to make products for everybody. And that's the game. That's the mindset we
Yes.
need to be
Give
in.
them the clap.
Think about it. The mindset
Yeah.
we got to be is not enough black owners of business, right? But we also got to think outside the box and make products for everybody so they won't keep us in the box. And so that's the mindset we have to have now moving forward. Because everybody think, oh, I just want to make this black product. No, they don't make products just for them. They make products for everybody. That's why we buy their products.
Well, get
So we have to change our mindset.
the biggest consumer. It's us,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So we got to have that mindset. And I love what you said, Pops. It's like we can't be the ones putting ourselves in the box.
Yes.
And it's very true. And I think that's a conversation that, we have even up here. And sometimes when you're building businesses and spaces, and that probably would be my closing question before I do closing comments. But like you said, the importance of Black owned businesses and how we grow them and what that means. My closing question to both of you would be, how do you maintain growing your business and being successful while also remembering what it is to the culture and how important it is? Like you said, the goal is to be Black owned, right? It doesn't necessarily mean the products have to just be for us, but how do you balance that, trying to uplift and preserve culture, but then still run a successful, viable business? And that's my question for both of you.
Yeah. So for me, I realized product outweighs talent, but I also realized that we make a tenth of 1% of Fortune 500 companies. I'm talking about black CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. We make a tenth of 1%. So think about that number. That is makes no sense. And here we make a tenth of 1%. When you see faces look like us, how do we help our community? How we change this? I ain't talking about even owning business. I'm just saying being a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, to have somebody look like us. Because when you look at it, right, if you're the CEO of that company, then you could do philanthropy for whatever your culture is. You could give back. You could give more jobs and opportunities. And then, as African American women, we are the highest to graduate, but we're not running none of these Fortune 500 companies. That's why we're not creating change and growth. And so for me, that's why I say we have to create and own these companies so we can make more Fortune 500 companies. And then now you'll see more people look like us and we'll be able to help us. So for me, it's about us helping us, but we also have to be educated enough and understand, even for me, I'm focusing on middle school, elementary schools, giving them that education on financial literacy because we got to start young, like Romeo say, preparing. Like we don't prepare our culture for success. We don't prepare our culture for financial literacy. And so that's the way we change. It's all about changing the mindset. So today, I want to close. I want to let people know we have to change the mindset and let our people know that we can do this. Because everybody say, oh, these companies, they too big. We could never be able to take a company public and all this stuff, right? But we never tried. So think about it. Nike started out of their garage. Uh, Tesla was started from PayPal. I mean, this guy built PayPal in college. So we really don't have an age on it, right? Some people think we got to be 20, 30 years old or whatever. The guy who created KFC was 75 years old. So even the older people on here, I don't want you guys to feel like, oh, I can't start my own business because I'm 70 years old, I'm 60 years old, I'm 50 years old. No, it's no age limit on creating generational wealth. So my thing is to everybody on here, the only way you could get there, you have to not be afraid to start and have to not be afraid to swing at the ball. You can't hit a home run if you never swing at the ball.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And look, I couldn't have said it better. I'll just add on to what my dad said. Well, something my dad always said that stuck with me, and that's very popular for everybody out there. I want y'all to know this too, but my dad always told me, if they can do it, we can do it.
Yeah.
If they can do it, we can do it. It's that mindset that will change your entire life and your entire business. Because any business that's $1 billion company right now, guess who created it? Another man or woman. So if they can do it, we can do it.
Thank you. Okay. So I think did you have one quick final question? Okay. Just one quick final question, then I'll let you guys head out. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna ask that question later. That's not in our contract, but I will follow up. But people are trying to see how y'all do philanthropy and investment. But that's the thing. If you don't know, if you don't ask and try. Okay, real quick, Cope, and I'm gonna let them jump off because they have to head out. Yes. I'll tell you what the question is.
Okay.
How important is having a coach or a mentor in your development of the mindset?
So the closing question they're asking is, how important do you guys think having a mentor or a coach is in developing the mindset
I
to
mean,
change your mindset?
it's so important. I mean, when I first got into business, right, I wanted to learn the music business. I went to Michael Jackson attorney, and he charged me $25,000 to give me that advice to where I wanted a distribution deal, and I had no idea that. But that was probably the best money I ever spent in my life, which most people say, hey, man, $25,000 talk to somebody. But guess what? In the early 90s, I did that, and that changed my life. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself. You know, don't just waste people time. And that's what I found out. It's like, you know what? People time is valuable. If I really want this, I had to get out there and put the work in to save my money because I wanted to talk to his attorney and pick his brain. And I picked his brain, and I found out I could get a distribution deal where I make 85% and the record company make 15%, and that's how I built my empire. So education is so important, but you got to find some. And some mentors, it might be somebody right around you that you don't have to pay, or somebody to just have that knowledge, and that's fine. But I wanted the best of the best. I tell people all the time, you get what you pay for. And so I was able to pick that guy's brain, and that changed my whole life. It just changed everything. It also made me go work harder because now I was already poor, but then the last little money I had, it was gone, but I know that I couldn't do nothing but go up from there. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself. You are your most important investment, and find somebody that know more than you that can help lead you on this journey.
Thank you very much. Romeo, did you want to add to that
Nah, that's
before we close out?
when I think about being successful and investing in yourself. People don't know that story. My dad, he didn't have a lot of money, so when he say he went to Michael Jackson's lawyer and paid him $25,000, this is somebody who truly was betting on himself, but he used this knowledge to not just be an entertainer or a rap artist, but to be a businessman in this industry. So yeah, to anybody out there, you really want it, guess what? You're going to have to put your money where your mouth is, because if you don't invest in yourself, nobody else will invest in you.
Thank you. Let's give him a round of applause. Before you guys walk off, I do want to say thank you again for entrusting us with some of your money yachty items. We hope that we do justice by y'all tomorrow and just get, like you said, showing people, you know, Black brands across the state and across the country and others. So we just wanted to tell you thank you for that as well. And we hope that we get to, like we said, have you again and host you again, and hope that you guys have a great evening.
Yes.
Thank y'all. Only the blessings.